I have a confession.
What?
I took that blue pill like an hour ago.
Okay, so almost prepared.
I'm prepared, very.
Alright then. I came prepared.
What is that a crime? And let me just let you know one thing.
What are you doing?
You know, I'm done. Just.
Last Straw is the movie I'm reviewing today, and this movie is produced by Grace Onye. The story is written by Bimbo Ademoye, and the director of the movie is Great Val Idoche. So a quick recap of this movie is Lulu and Mo, who are young married couple, happily married couple for that matter, only for them to have their greatest enemy and tormenting their marriage is Mo's mother. Now, Mo's mother really detests and does not have any atom of love for her son-in-law, that's Lulu. She did everything from disrespect to tormenting their marriage. Not only the marriage, rather torment Lulu. Lulu, on the other hand, could not take it any longer and he left the marriage. Then Mo was left with no choice whether to go back to her husband or stay back with her mother. So the decision was up to her to make. This is what this movie is about. You know, I don't have to give you everything about this movie. The movie can be found on Bimbo Ademoye TV on YouTube channel here. And trust you me, you wouldn't regret watching this movie. It's worth your time, it's worth your data, it's worth everything if you really decide to watch this movie. Now, what I love about this movie, let's start with the message, story, and lesson in this movie. The story is really relatable, very thoughtful, and also the message is clear. You know, married couple, young or old, should learn when to draw the boundaries from family intruding in their personal life, especially young couple. You know, your in-laws, your brothers, your sisters who are not directly involved in your marriage should not be involved in your marriage. You need to learn to draw that line between your spouses and your family, extended family for that matter. So this movie kind of highlights that situation all throughout, and this movie is really good for young couple especially. So you all have this thought that our parents know it all, and obviously nobody knows it all. So this movie tackles all of that, and you get the message clear, the lesson clear, and also the story was well written. Kudos to Bimbo Ademoye for, you know, making sure this movie comes to light. Next thing I like about the movie is the cast, directing, and acting of this movie. That's general performances of all the actors in this movie. Everyone came through. They were acting as if it was Netflix kind of project that they were doing on this movie. Everybody was in character. Everybody was acting like everything was just on point. Talking about Bimbo Ademoye, she was really good. Her character was so sweet, soft, tender, timid. Because of her mother, she was respectful, she was calm. Her character in this movie was so good. Then of course Timini, who played the husband in this movie, he was also very respectful, very timid as well, very calm, very lovely husband, house husband for that matter, and I think he nailed his role. Bimbo and Timini, they really do have this friendship going on, perfect friendship going on, especially on set. It's like they have special connection on set. You think they are real life couple actually, and they bring in that friendship goal into their character as well, and they're so comfortable with each other. When you watch this movie, the kisses were flying around, the hugging, you could just feel the love oozing from both their characters. So I think they nailed the love roles that they played in this movie. Of course, Shaffy, Bello, she was actually my favorite character in this movie. Her role was so spectacular. She did the wicked mother-in-law. She projected everything that she experienced in her past to her daughter's marriage, and they were not having it at all. She did everything possible to torment the husband. You name it, she brought up the A game of wicked mother-in-law without even lifting a finger. She did spectacularly well. Her role in this movie was so good. And obviously also the supporting characters in this movie were so great, especially Lulu's friend, that's Timini's friend in this movie. He was so sweet, accommodating him along the way, and also the office characters were so good as well. So yeah, everyone in this movie was good. Kudos to the director, making sure that every character that was involved on this project brought in their A game in terms of acting. Most of the characters we saw in this movie, we hardly see them on YouTube movies. So seeing them in this movie and on YouTube makes it more exciting and more refreshing. So kudos to whoever casted everyone on this movie. That was a good one. Directing, casting, performances of everyone was top notch. Then I talk about location of this movie. They did super well with the location of this movie. The office, I don't know where they got this office location from. Very beautiful. You could just feel the freshness of the movie. The office scenes were so beautiful. Whenever she's walking in, the camera is on her to her office. The alley that she walks on, very beautiful. Conference room, beautiful. Her personal office, her mom's office, beautiful scene. Then obviously also then her mom's house, very beautiful apartment. The couple's apartment was beautiful. I haven't seen this apartment before in YouTube movies. You already know I always complain about using the same location all the time. Lulu's best friend apartment, that was also a very different apartment as well. So they used 3 different locations plus the office, and how can I forget the bar? That was also a very beautiful scene as well. I might be guessing maybe it's the apartment bar lounge. I'm just guessing, but obviously that was also a beautiful scene, and there were a lot of people, a lot of cast, a lot of characters in that scene. Everybody was just doing their thing. You wouldn't even know they were part of the scene, but it was just beautiful. Everybody was in character, minding their business, having drink. Everybody was drinking. This is make believe. This is how you make a movie that is refreshing to see. They are acting, but you don't know that they are acting. They are part of the characters, but you wouldn't know that they are part of the characters. This is what I'm talking about. That was so beautiful. Timini and his friends were not just sitting at one place. They stood up, he stood up, a girl approached him, he left. That was a beautiful scene. That was really so. Locations of this movie was beautiful. Talking about location, the apartment that the couple were staying in, I'm guessing Bimbo was advertising that apartment. So they keep showing the name of the apartment all the time. They keep showing the name of the apartment all the time. So that was a way of advertising that apartment. Whoever gave her the contract or the place to shoot this movie, I'm sure there were some outline contracts in there. So kudos to her, kudos to her team for making sure that we got a new location scene, and that apartment is really beautiful as well. Then we go to cinematography. Cinematography of this movie was beautiful. This movie talks about 21st century couple, latest couple, young couple. So I expected to see bright colors, beautiful colors, and cinematography was on point. Oh my goodness. The brightness, the colors they used, the apartment colors, outside shot, indoor shots, everything was just bright and beautiful. Cinematography was on point. I can't even say less. And of course, camera capture, zooming, angles, blurring, everything was just on point. I can't even say less. Everything was on point when it comes to cinematography. I love it. The costume on this set was really beautiful to see how the customized boo-boo in this movie was something, and whoever styled them, the wardrobe, the person in charge of wardrobe did super well. Costume was on point. The office costumes were speaking class and bougie and expensive. I love every of her office wear. They were so on point. Shaffy Bello, everything that woman wore in this movie was classy, expensive. Who they check out? Nobody, guys. And obviously also Bimbo's outfits were on point. So office costumes were on point as well. And another thing I want to talk about that I really love about this movie is attention to detail. Everything that you think you might have missed in this movie, you wouldn't miss it, because they will repeat it and they will take your mind back that, oh, okay, this is the reason why this is happening. Especially the portrait that Timini talked about, that his mother-in-law had a bigger portrait than theirs in the hall was shown. Talked about wedding rings, everything of such was shown. The office, when they're talking about the PR stuff and advertisements, the business terms they were using in the office was so good. And also a detective was in there, checking on Timini if he was cheating or not. That was also another detail that I really loved. The feedback from that investigation was also very nice. And another attention to detail that I realized Bimbo really strategized was how she tried to market her friend's product, beauty product as Adesuwa's. Bimbo did so well by marketing that brand in this movie so many times, so many scenes. And I also love, another thing I love is the fact that you could just feel that the couple felt at home. They were using everything in that house. How can I forget after she had the accident, using the wheelchair, using the crutches? See, attention to details is what makes a good movie. Now, what I do not like, obviously there are 2, 3, 4 things that I do not like about this movie. I will start with Timini's wardrobe. I don't know, there were a lot of hype about his dressing. There were a lot of hype about the boo-boo he was wearing just because he's the house husband. Well, the boo-boos were looking good on Bimbo Ademoye. But on Timini, for me, I was really not appreciating that boo-boo. The other dresses he was wearing, like the t-shirt and the other simple ones, were cool as a house husband. But for the boo-boo, no, and they were repeating most of the boo-boos they were wearing as well. So I personally was not a fan of Timini's wardrobe. It was fun. I was seeing it as a comedy aspect of the movie. Whenever I see him in one of those boo-boos, I wasn't really catching on to how a lot of people were appreciating the costume like that. So for me, that was one thing I did not like. Boo-boo on Bimbo was cool and very great. Boo-boo on Timini, I wasn't feeling it. Another thing I didn't like about this movie was the frame size of the movie. You already know that I always complain when they do not use the right size of a YouTube movie. Bimbo's other movies, they use the right size. I don't know what happened to this one. I don't know when they leave the black spaces, they want to sleep there or not. Yeah, I don't know why they did not use the right size. Every time I see it in the movie, I'll complain. So, I mean, I don't know the idea behind it. It's like using a vertical frame for a horizontal movie. Now you have been given a horizontal and there's a size to use, and you prefer to use a smaller size, making the movie smaller and leaving the black spaces. I really do not understand. So yes, the size of this movie was off for me, and that I did not like. Another thing I didn't like was the hospital scene. This hospital, is this the nurse outfit that they wear here? Until I saw another nurse, a bit cleaner. I don't know, guys. Seeing Bimbo out of the hospital, that person also wore a dark green outfit. I'm like, okay, so I was a bit confused. There was no tag, there was nothing showing that that person was a nurse. So that was one thing I wasn't getting. And also the interaction with the nurse and of course Timini was a little bit off. I wasn't feeling it either. I was just trying to bypass time. I wasn't feeling it at all. Scene where Bimbo was saying sorry to her mother after the outburst of Timini. You know, that scene was really good, coming from Timini. The outburst, the character was just, I'm sorry mommy, I'm sorry mommy, like I didn't understand why she had to repeat it like 10, more than 10 times if I'm not exaggerating. That scene, I was not feeling Bimbo's character in that. Timini was the star of that scene, and also Mama Shaffy Bello was the star of that scene. Bimbo, I don't know what she was doing. I really do not know what she was doing in that scene at all. I didn't feel her character, and that was, she made the scene so off for me, and that was another thing I did not enjoy. And pretty much that is it. This movie is a good watch. If you want to watch it, you can go to Bimbo Ademoye TV on YouTube channel. Trust me, the story is not new. This story has been told severally on YouTube. We have stories where a young couple is not accepted by a rich family, and obviously the rich family always torment the couple. It's the same thing as this one. There's no difference. The only thing different is the production, the cast, and executing of the story. So I keep saying that you don't need to produce movie every week. You don't need to produce movie every three days. You don't need to produce movie every 2 days. You don't need to produce movie even every 2 weeks safe. Just collect the fans. Make sure you produce a good quality movie in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, and trust me, you will still get the numbers you are looking for, especially if you have an audience. And another thing which is really important that I always talk about is time. The time frame of this movie is less than 1 hour 50 minutes, 1 hour 40 minutes, actually even less. This is a good movie in less than 2 hours. I don't know who started this 2 hours plus movie on YouTube. Calm down, make the story interesting, make it less time consuming. 1 hour 40 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes, and we are good to go. This movie spoke about everything exciting, little details of everything in 1 hour 43 minutes. What more can I ask for? Note, I'm rating this movie a 8. I'm keeping the 2 for myself. So yes, I would definitely recommend this movie. And this movie, you can't watch it with kids. This movie is rated 18. It should be rated 18 plus. So yes. So guys, thank you so much for watching my review. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment if you have watched the movie. If you haven't, tell me if you are going to watch it or not. And all guys, I'll see you all in my next movie review.